Sometimes the sport of boxing has narratives, stories that write themselves. And when we think about rematches become another chapter to what you've already read prior. And such will be the case on Saturday, November 15th, when we have the rematch of what I believe was the original fight of the year, when Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn enter the ring to face one another, to continue the legacy of a family feud. Let's talk about this rematch between these two men and what it means for the UK. Rematches often tell the real story between fighters. And when Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn take to the ring on Saturday, November 15th, they will be continuing a family rivalry story that goes over 20 plus years. You see, their dads met at the middleweight, super middleweight divisions, and they didn't care for one another. But the sons, they've had a chance to prove to their dads that they have what it takes. And such was the case when they met up back in April of this year for their first go round. There were so many side stories that led to this event, from positive drug test findings to egg slaps to parliamentary procedures and so forth and so on. So when these two men take on one another in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, temperatures will run hot again. You see, the first fight had Eubank Jr. winning a unanimous decision, and he left the stadium severely dehydrated, and Conor Benn was just a bit short of putting Eubank on his rear end, which he had hoped to do. So they're going to do it again. Personally, I don't think there's a need for a rematch between the two. But finances dictate what's going to happen. You see, the first fight had a great deal of ebb and flow, back and forth. men digging deep, not willing to give in or submit to the other. And with his victory, Eubank left this fight, his record now 35-3 with 25 KOs. He went in there to prove a point to Conor Benn. And the point that he wanted to prove was that he was a superior fighter, believe it or not. Conor Benn went in looking to prove that he could bash his face in, as he said in many of their press meetings. And so by dropping the loss to Eubank Jr., Benn's record now is 23 wins, 1 loss, and 14 KOs. But he wants the rematch. He wants to get in there and establish that he feels that he's the superior fighter. What's interesting is that a career middleweight and super middleweight that Eubank Jr. is, he's naturally the bigger guy. However, he is the older guy as well. We're talking 36 years of age. Conor Benn is entering a prime at 29. And Benn, who still maintains that he intends to campaign at 147, albeit I don't know how, it's going to be interesting when this fight is done. Because one of these men, who, regardless of whoever wins, is going to have to make a decision about their career going forward. Benn says he wants to win a welterweight title. Eubank hasn't been solid on what his intents are. There have been opportunities for him to face world titleists. And though he has mentioned names like Canelo and others, he hasn't really let on to what he truly wants from the sport. I don't think it's about money for Benn. There's something else. That something else that drives him is an intangible, something that is off the charts, which is why he's going in against Conor Benn again. Eubank is a man that is a lot like his dad, a little bit eccentric, highly intelligent, strongly spoken, and motivated by his own circumstances of aspiration. The two are not the best boxers in their divisions, nor even against one another. But there's one thing that they proved out of their first meeting, and that's that they are fighters at the core. When I watched that first match, I marveled at how they both handled themselves and what they displayed of their emotional aspect of fighting. I did not know that either man had that inside of each, but they did. And it was a lot like their dads, reminiscent of what their dads were able to deliver when they faced one another. I hope that after this fight, this will be the last time the two men face one another. But you never know. And as we go forward, we will find out if Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn will be in the record books like their dads for having faced each other a couple of times. I'm not predicting a winner in this fight because I think it's going to be different from the first fight, but it definitely has a chance to light fire where it's been cool. Both of these men have a lot to prove against one another, and they just do not like one another. So it's hard to gauge. If Conor Benn is able to keep his wits about himself and be successful, it'll be crushing for Benn. I do believe Benn has an edge because he went back and picked up the training services of Brian Bomac McIntyre, and that could be the very difference in this match, because with the assistance of Bomac, when Eubank fought his rematch against Liam Smith, not only did he box wonderfully, but he stopped Smith inside the distance. It was a wonderful performance. Conor Benn has never been a fighter to display boxing skills. He's rugged, and he's a guy that'll get in your face and he'll like the wing shots and try to bully and power his way through. If he cannot make the necessary adjustments to be able to fight for scoring points and not try to engage full on for 12 rounds or less, he's not going to be in the best position to win. Eubank has the ability to be more versatile in this fight, and that's where I believe Bomac is going to really assist him. Set traps and use your wits, experience, and physicality. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave comments and let's discuss further. Who do you really think will prevail in this rematch? Benn or Eubank Jr.? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.